Hello, saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Hello and welcome to episode 22 of the Fasting Focused Lifestyle Podcast, where this episode we're talking about personal integrity and what that means and how it can really make a difference for not just your journey, but the long haul afterwards as you get into maintenance and making this a complete and permanent lifestyle change to last the rest of your life. Isn't that what we want? Stay tuned. Welcome to the Fasting Focused Lifestyle Podcast, where each week I will be discussing all things fasting and how it can become the most valuable tool in your personal toolkit so that you can live a long, healthy, and meaningful life. I'm your host, Vicki Sharon, and thank you for joining me. All right, so we're talking personal integrity, and I know when we say the word integrity, we kind of have this thought and feeling that, of course, it's like making sure that we doing the right thing and we're being honest and we've got these strong moral principles and that we're good people and stuff. So in relation to the fasting focused lifestyle, obviously, because we don't want to go too off the track here, I think one of the first big things as a kind of rebuttal that I see from a lot of the comments and feedback that I keep getting from folks that are truly like, I can tell that folks are genuinely interested, but there is a sense of hesitation there. But with integrity in mind again, I think this is a really good opportunity for folks that are interested in with fasting in this lifestyle. Is first and foremost, if you have, maybe you came across one of my videos or come across one of my podcast episodes or something of mine, and you, as I did when I first learned about fasting, you kind of went down the rabbit hole, so to speak, the finger quotes, right? You went down the rabbit hole and you're like, what's this all about? Am I starving myself? Is this actually real? Is this some kind of, MLM fad scam? Is somebody trying to sell me something? Is this just bullshit? Like, is this fake? Is this real? Like, our tinfoil hat kind of goes on and we get like the little like, suspicious, or as my kids like to say, oh, that's sus. That's wicked sus. So you have your suspicions, but once you see the validity of this lifestyle, and not just the lifestyle, but the actual science behind it and why it does what it does and why it works the way that it works and why it's the oldest healing modality in recorded human history, going all the way back to times of Hippocrates, right? Like, we know this. We know that fasting is practiced around the world in various different religions. We know this. But yet we have this stigma in our mind that maybe we're not truly invested. We're not truly we're not totally bought and sold on it. Like, when you're trying to get bought and sold from some kind of scammy thing, you're waiting for that, what's the deal breaker? You're waiting for the deal breaker. And y'all, there's no deal breaker. There's none. If there's anything, it's your hesitation in implementation of this lifestyle. And once you get over that hump, that what you're actually doing is, committing and believing in this lifestyle and not just saying like, oh, great job, I saw your weight loss, Vicki. Like, that's great. Like, honestly, truly, like, side note, I thank you. And I love all the, great feedback. And I'm giving you all a big hug for that. But that's great and everything. Like, don't kiss my ass and not do anything about it. I do this and share everything I do because I want that for every single person that wants it for themselves. If you see this and you're like, oh, I need that. Oh, I was stuck where she was. Girl, man, bro, sis, like uncle, grandma, like you guys can have this. Like, I don't want to keep this all for me. It's like this special magical prize of knowledge that I don't want to keep just for me. Like, you guys can have it too. This is not some special elite magic club that only like the special privilege. Fuck no. Like, there was nothing special about me except like that I just didn't give up. I didn't stop. I didn't see that I had the really need to stop. And we get so fixated in our culture where we think that it has to be hard, fast, by a certain time, day, fit in these parameters, and so specific and linear and measurable and stress. Like, too much noise. And I've said this, like, had the same reaction multiple other times. But y'all, that's like a lot of noise. That's a lot of like, like, so much of this process has to be internal, intrinsic, restorative, and just recalibrate and just fix. We have to fix a lot of things going on internally, and we can't fix what's within us without us. You get that? Like, we can't go out of our body to fix things within it, y'all. Like, thoughts, feelings, emotions, behaviors, actions, habits. This has all got to be addressed, and these all come up as little behavioral red flags that we experience all day by day. So, again, please don't take it as a personal slight or nothing, but I see comments and feedback where people congratulate me on one end, and then they say they could never do it at the end of their comment. And I'm thinking, y'all, like, this is a toxic spinning mindset that so many of us have, thinking we can't get it, we don't deserve it, it's not going to be something realistic in our lifetime. And y'all, like, I had those same exact thoughts, so deeply embedded in me since a very young age. And y'all, like, I wouldn't be where I am right now if I let those thoughts and mental weeds and just assignment from friends and family and stuff growing up that bothered me, like, if I let them stay and take real estate in my head, I would not be who and where I am and what I'm doing at this very moment and second right now. Like, we have to come to a point in our life where, especially with fasting, I'm telling you, like, I will be the poster child for this lifestyle as long as, like, my last breath here on this earth. I believe in it, y'all, like, and I will not stop advocating for this lifestyle as well. There's incredible power and healing in this lifestyle, but I don't want to just keep it all for me. Like, I want every single one of you listening right now to feel that same, like, oh, sorry, but fuck yeah, like, I'm going to do this. Like, I can do this, and yes, it's going to be hard, and yes, it's going to be challenging, but man, like, being that present mind, but fired up, excited, passionate about it all, like, it's going to make getting to that end weight, that final goal, all the more meaningful and permanent. And you're not going to want anything else come along and fuck that up for you. They're going to be like, don't mess with this. Is my lifestyle. This is the way that we live now. Like, that's going to be your default setting. And it's going to pump and fire you up to where it just becomes second nature. It's going to become as second nature as breathing to you. And you're just going to not see these situations and circumstances in your life as, oh my gosh, like end of days troubles and stressors, like, you know, the stressors that come into our life every single day that every single one of us has to some degree. Yes, we all have stressors. Yes, we always have things and challenges that come into our life. But that mindset of victim mentality and I can't do this, I don't deserve to have peace and calm and serenity and no stress, like I'm always in a state of stress, I'm always stressed out. You keep saying you're always stressed out, you're going to be stressed out. If you say, I can do this one step at a time, I know I watched Vicky's stuff, or I read Dr. Fung's stuff, or I watched these videos, I know the method, I know I can do it, even if it's a couple steps towards the direction at a time each day, you're going to get there. Who the hell cares about the comparison of anybody else's? Do not measure your journey up to mine. Be inspired by mine, please. Big hug to you, by the way. Be inspired, but do not ever, y'all, ever compare your journey to wellness and restoring your health to anyone else, y'all. Okay, that's your warning. Like, this is the mama hat coming on right now. Like, y'all, don't compare. Don't compare. Comparison is the thief of joy. The more you know. Insert little NBC rainbow. Y'all, seriously, don't compare yourself to anyone, anything. That is a hyperfixation and focus on what you don't have for yourself or body, mind, thought, feeling at this very moment. And you have so much. You have the ability to hear me. You have the ability, maybe if you're watching on live, to see me. You have your sight, you have your ears, you have your life. Practice an attitude of gratitude and know that this time and process with your life and the action and steps that you take every single day, they will add up. And I've said this before and I will continue to say it again. Time will pass whether or not you take action. It is nobody else's responsibility besides you to figure out, wow, I'm sick of, as my life was before, it was a flaming dumpster fire, if I'm being totally honest. But I knew it was like I had to step out of the fire and trudge through to regain. I wanted to fight for my life. I knew it was either life or death. And to me, I was not ready to die yet. I still have a lot of living left to do. And I knew that dying was not an option. So we have to have the assignment and permanence and understanding that our lives and our health and our responsibility are up to us. This is our responsibility, especially if we have little ones looking after us and what we're doing and how we behave and what our activity is like. Are we wanting to pass on these habits, thoughts, responses, words, verbiage onto our kids? We need to make sure that we do it the way that we want and foresee for our children's future, obviously for our future, but cumulatively, goodness, Vicky, it's your future is their future, all intertwined in that beautiful family quilt mishmash sort of thing. And I don't know about y'all, I want to make sure that I have a good, long, healthy, meaningful, beautiful life. And this is something that you all can achieve too. You all seriously, truly can achieve this. And this is something with integrity, believing in the process, knowing that you can do this. It does take time. But I've said before, one of the little tidbits I'm going to give to you guys before we stop and go to some fasting questions and answers. Setting goals, I feel, is super, super important. And they don't have to be if you're not the type of super analytical person where you write everything down, if you're just kind of I kind of here, there, whatever, you need to at least have something set to where your map is going with this journey. Because if you go into this blindly without I don't know, I just need to lose a bunch of weight, it's probably not going to go all that well without some definition of where those road parameters are. So, with all the coursework and everything that I've done and taken through Arizona State University online, I knew before seeing this information in the textbook, but I like repeating it back anytime I have relevant information for you all to take and digest. So if you've heard of this before, again, repetition means retainment, I think is the saying I've heard for it. So these things called SMART goals, and SMART being specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. So we set this goal and we break it into smaller, and smaller chunks, and making it so that it's something that is realistic for us, obviously, specific to exactly what we want, making sure that it's something not hey, I want to fly with my arms, making it something realistic for you that you actually can achieve, relevant to your life, and that it is something within your life parameters, not, we could all have those way out there wishes for things, but within the parameters of fasting, I think is really important, as well as timely. And I've said before about making sure that we don't obsess about wanting things with this process to go too quick, and we don't want quick fixes with this method. But I think it's still important to loosely have, once you get going in the process, to keep track of the metrics with this process that excite you, that fill you up instead of stressing you out. And for me, it was noting on, I have this, I keep referencing anytime like I have the opportunity to, because it's just one of those like, if for Harry Potter fans out there, it's like one of my Horcruxes. If I had a Horcrux for my fasting method, like that, my board would be one of them. It's been with me like, woo, like we go back, girl, like we go back, we good, we friends, like my whiteboard, you're my boo, like that's, love you, girl. So I have it broken down into steps where I wrote my weight loss that I wanted to achieve, and I didn't set any hard, fast parameters for myself. I started at 300 and then like arrowed down 300 and then, by 10-pound increments. So 290, 280, all the way down until the last measurement that I wanted to achieve. I checked the data for my body mass index, my BMI, for my height, which is 5'11", and where I would be for a healthy weight is loosely around the 180 range. And I put an asterisk 180 pounds. And I remember the joy and pleasure that I got in crossing off every single one of those. It's just a written bunch of letters, listen to me, gosh, a bunch of numbers written on the whiteboard, but being so present, excited, motivated, inspired by this process and elements that I look forward to, like, oh, I can't wait to go and cross this off, and like knowing that, oh, hey, if I didn't meet it today by my usual, routine of keeping X amount of pounds, approximately per week or month or whatever, that I wouldn't beat myself up. I would just be like, oh, let me just try, adjusting my method a little bit to see if I need to dial it up a little or if I need to dial it back a little bit. And having that open growth mindset to know each day is going to look different. Each food intake is going to look different. Maybe even each level of stress and relaxation is going to look different than each other. And I think that's important to remember too along this journey, to have that kindness and compassionate nature to yourself, and know that you don't have to start right out and be like, I love myself, but I really fucking don't. Like, Vicky just said I had to, and this is so fucking miserable. Blah, blah. Like, no, be realistic about it and just be like, man, I'm feeling really stressed. Like, have a brain dump, write stuff down. If things are like on your mind to where you can't focus and meditate, get it out of your mind and just write it down and get it out of sight until you're able to like go and attend to it, to kind of like chop down your to-do list there. But truly, lol, like one of the big things that I repeat, and I think I already said it once in this episode, but I'm going to say it again because it's that important. We need to be excited and really, despite the hardships, despite the relearning new habits and struggles and the restrictive feeling, and oh my God, I have to have this, and I'm so used to having this at night and this and this. Be excited about this. Know that this is the story of your life. You are writing the story of your life. This is exciting. You are fixing body physicality and dynamics that you've had, if you were like me, for your whole life. Repairing internally, fixing and repairing thoughts, emotions, behaviors, everything in your thoughts, feelings, opinions, and beliefs. If you feel they're broken and need repair, they can be repaired. But we have to get uncomfortable with them. We have to pull them up from inside of us and really dismantle and figure out what the underlying root and cause for all this is. Because if for a lot of us, myself formerly included, pacifying your thoughts, feelings, emotions, reactions from others with food is a one-way ticket to ending your life. And I don't want that for anybody. Not at all. Not at all. Because these lives are beautiful. And I want healthy, happy, long lives for every single one of you. If you can hear this, if you're watching it on a replay, I care about you too. If you're listening to this on Apple right now, I care about you too. If you're listening on Spotify, I care about you too. I'm giving you all a big, warm, squishy hug. I need a drink of water real quick before I get in some Q&As. I see lots of comments, so I'm going to check. Hold on, folks on Facebook. I'm going to check the TikTok ones really quick. Woo! I'm getting a little bit in the feelies here. Caleb's Nana, I've been intermittent fasting. How do I curb the hunger at the end of the day? Honestly, that is a learned behavioral change, and that just comes with conscious, attentive behavior to when that pang comes up. If you know that, oh, I always get stressed and I come home at this time, my regular reaction response is to go pacify it with this snack, this food, this drink, or whatever. Change the logistics of it. Either take a different route, do a different, habit when you get home, maybe pick up a different habit, start reading, start doing some kind of physical movement instead. Honestly, one of the most underrated things is being active with your body when you have these cravings and, hormonal urges that come over us. Just get up, move around, walk around, go out, do like a load of laundry, go put a song on that has been in your head all day and just fucking shake it out. Just like, woo, get it. And chances are your happy chemicals in your brain are going to be like, oh yeah, girl, we're actually good. Like, we don't need that after all. Have a drink of water and just be like, I got this. Ocean Loop Studio, hoping to find some inspiration. Started 2 weeks ago. Scale hasn't moved. Sometimes that happens. I'm giving you big, you got this. Stay consistent. Staying consistent is the most important thing. Once you're consistent with it, it'll be easier over time to recognize, hey, I'm doing the fasting every single day, but eating relatively the same. Maybe that may be time to look at and evaluate, okay, what foods have I been eating that haven't been serving me, or that maybe could be changed to a better, healthier option. Again, with food choices that you love and will look forward to and not feel like you're being tortured or deprived from things that you like eating. And that's, an important part of the process too. It's consistency. You got this, okay? You got this. Definitely a vegan. Okay. Vegetarian. Gotcha. Okay, y'all. You do you. What's the first step to changing that mindset? I'm with you on a noisy mind since early on. Honestly, it's getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. It's realizing that the noise, the static, the verbiage, is always going to be there. It's always going to come up. It's always going to subside. And acknowledging whether it's an environmental or a conversational stressor or something that triggers it to bring it up, address it right away. Call it out. Hey, I'm feeling this way right now. I'm feeling stressed right now about XYZ 1, 2, 3, and handle it the best way that you can. If it doesn't change or can't be changed, be okay with walking away from it and just be like, all right, well, at least I tried. All right, moving on. It's small steps in the right direction, and having that sense of compassion, self-love, like more than just like, oh, I love myself. Like, okay, beyond that, like seriously, self-love can be just, checking out from if you got kids or a crazy family, just like, I just need a moment to myself. I'm going to spray some perfume just to get like, whoo, good. Or looking out the window for a few, just looking at the clouds or whatever. If it like going to the bathroom is just like your peaceful checkout time, do what what's going to work best for you, honestly. And again, as I've said with other stuff, it's going to change and evolve over time, and it should, and it has to, because this is, again, like I said, the story of your life. This is something that you should be excited about, that you look forward to know that it's always open, growing, flexible, going to change, ebb, flow, up, down, inside, out. Like, it's balance. We have to balance it all. And you can, one little bit at a time. Yep, lots of water. Drink lots and lots of water. All right, so Facebook here. I wasn't forgetting about y'all. Carrie Ann. I need to make a start. Hi, Vicky. How do you survive the first week, please? What's your best advice? Thank you so much. Carrie Ann, my best advice, like I just said and answered a few moments ago, the best advice, honestly, is just to stay consistent. And it gets so easy because our society has so deeply embedded into us that it has to be quick. We want overnight results. We want to wake up and pull off the stomach wrap Velcro belt thing and see, oh my God, we're good as new. Like, fuck that. It doesn't happen that quickly. We need to understand that this process takes time, but knowing that you keep having these beautiful, consistent efforts, you're going to see a gradual, permanent change over time. And love and understand this process and understand that it does take time and that each little action, each positive, helpful, supportive, loving thought that you have, instead of a negative, just harmful, hurtful thought, or, taking sarcasm or having like a personal attack or slight, like not taking offense to everything, I think is really important too. And understanding this takes time. Like I said, it's a long process and it should be something that is savored and enjoyed as much as you can along this process. Just be present, be absolutely present. Sydney and Melbourne, we got a lot of Aussies today. Woohoo! Lori, for me, change is good. It takes me one day at a time. I might stumble, but I keep getting up and keep going. Good. High five to you. That's how you do it. Carrie Ann, yeah, powerful. Fighting for your life. It is, right. Goal setting, yep. Whiteboard, absolutely. I think we do need to be comfortable with our parts of our thoughts and emotions and behavior, hormonal responses of those moments of discomfort, because that's where the growth, healing, and opportunity can arise for us to get better and improve ourselves overall. Because these pacifying actions, habits that we have with food, alcohol, drugs, different behaviors, like it's just covering up these feelings and stuff, or addictions. There's needs in there. If these needs are not being met, they're just going to keep like, hey, pacify me with, a bag of Cheetos, a thing of cookies or whatever. Like that was me. That was me anytime I was happy, I was excited, I was sad, mad, depressed, scared, whatever. Like it was just, I'm feeling too much feelings right now. Numb. I need to numb. Numb. Literally numb. And that's how I got to almost 400 pounds. And that's scary. Like that was, yeah, it's still very surreal. Like I have moments and I look down, I'm like, holy shit, this is my body. Like, yeah, I know folks have been like, oh my God, it's taken forever. Like, no, this feels like along this process, it truly feels like, oh my gosh, I literally feel like I was just 400 pounds and we're approaching like year 4. Like, come on, Vicky, it's been time. It's been some time. But yeah, it's crazy and it's awesome. And it's definitely worth this incredible, beautiful ride that I want every single person to savor, enjoy, experience, and to know that this is possible. Like I said, this is absolutely possible. If you have ever had thoughts where you're like, oh, I can't do that. Oh, Vicky, she must. Oh, she's young. This. Stop it. You stop that right now. I'm telling you right now, you can do this. You can do this. Absolutely do this. Imagine that I'm sitting in front of you, beside you, and I'm just like, ooh, I'm just telling you, you've got this. You can do this. You may not believe you can do this, but I believe in you. Like I always say, I mean it. I truly mean it. I believe in you. Even if you don't, with every single fiber of my being, I know you can do this. It's going to be hard. Savor those moments. Remember, oh, yes, it's hard, but oh, I'm going to do this. It's possible. This is absolutely possible. So when you get over those challenges and the victories to those are fantastic, and it makes the next challenge not quite so challenging, and the next challenge a little bit less challenging. And as you go further and further on, you're like, boom, come at me, bro. Like you're a force to be reckoned with. Like this is the stressors in life. Not to say they won't ever knock you down. They absolutely still can. But your body's way of handling it is not going to be like the way that I was before, where, oh my gosh, I'm feeling feelings right now. I can't deal with it. I need to go to the pantry and stuff my face. Like, no, That's not the answer. Like, no, I'm slapping your hand right now. No, don't do that. Deal with, say hello, and make friends with those feelings. It's going to be really freaking weird, but get weird. Love the weird. We like weird, right? Woo! Be comfortable with those moments of discomfort in our emotions. Oh, this is really stressful. Oh, okay. Think, why? Peel back those layers. Why? Like the little kids, if you have a little toddler, or if you've ever had a toddler, why, right? You're going through that phase. Mine are 9 and 11 now, so we're not quite at the why. We're well past the why stage, but I remember it. Do that to yourself. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I stressed out? What is bugging me? What is going on? What? Monty Python there. What is going on? But seriously, just as you can tell from my just like constant joking kind of mentality, have fun with this. Like, have fun with this. Love this. It's your life. And you deserve a long, healthy, meaningful life, y'all. Because I believe in you. Every single one of you. All you beautiful folks, I thank you and I'm appreciative of you watching on TikTok. For those of you watching tonight on Facebook. And for those of you listening on my podcast on Apple and Spotify, I'm giving you a big hug right now. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love this ride. This is a beautiful, beautiful ride. And you can have this too, y'all. You can absolutely have this too. And I want you to. If you need supportive help, coaching, assistance on your fasting focused lifestyle, please visit thefastingfocusedlifestyle.com. And again, my name is Vicki Sharon. I'd love to help take care of you and support you, empower you by the power of fasting. There's a little He-Man reference for you. Hit me up, thefastingfocusedlifestyle.com. And I'll show you how beautiful this life can be with fasting as a tool to really just knock your socks off. It's great. Have a great rest of your day wherever you are listening from. And again, I believe in you, even if you don't. The Fasting Focused Lifestyle Podcast. Copyright 2022. The information given within this podcast is not intended or implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please consult your doctor before starting any weight loss method. Thank you.
Hello, Saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.